If you haven't already, subscribe on iTunes. And while you're there, please leave us a rating and review.
Or lease in the morning.
Hello and welcome to Paratalk with the East Tennessee Ghost Seekers. Paratalk podcast contains explicit language, scary content, and adult humor. Parental discretion is advised.
It's time for Paratalk, a wide-ranging discussion covering hauntings, paranormal encounters, UFOs, cryptids, and true crime. With your host, Stephen Brown, and your East Tennessee Ghost Seekers, Steve Wiseman, Andrea Brown, Elsie Adams, Jesse Arms, Amy Sharp, Justin Howard, and me, Mike Howard. To join in the discussion, email etgsparatalk@gmail.com. And now, it's time for Paratalk.
All right, guys. We are back. We are so freaking back. It's Friday, August 27th. And Andrea's pissed off. Steve's half asleep. Mike is in Japan somewhere. Amy is tickled to death because she makes more money than all of us put together. But we're back. Andrea's having problems with her iPhone, where if you remember from, 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
During the last show, we had switched over to Apple products. And Andrea hasn't logged into Podbean since getting the iPhone. And she can't remember her login information. And it has made her very, very upset.
And that's the phone's fault?
Yes. It should have transferred my crap.
Well,
all of it.
They don't transfer passwords.
I don't care. All of it.
That's a security thing. That's a security thing.
All of it.
It's a security thing.
It's freaking Podbean. Come on.
I'm pretty sure if you say it's a security thing one more time,
that's why I stopped.
She's going to hurt you.
That's why I stopped, Amy.
I have plenty of things I can throw.
It's a security thing.
That wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Oh, my eyeball!
So, we're back, and we are not prepared for this in the very least. So, like it says up at the top, no topic this week, so join the BS chat. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about anything and everything.
I have something that came up, actually. I was actually going to talk to you about it.
Okay.
But I think we'll go ahead and do it as a general topic, because it was honestly one of the scariest things I've ever experienced in my life. And it was watching a documentary on Hulu. And it's bothered me for days now.
Really?
Yeah, no joking. It really was it's very disturbing. There's a new documentary on Hulu called A Glitch in the Matrix. And it's about simulation theory, which is basically the idea of the Matrix movies come to life. What if we're all living in a big computer simulation and we just don't know it?
You know, my brain cannot comprehend that right now.
My brain couldn't comprehend it when I was watching it, and it bothered me for days. Because Elon Musk is in the documentary, and he's at a talk, and he's talking about how he believes it's true.
Wow.
That we're all being controlled. We're all basically in this big, giant computer simulation. And that's why when we see that, it explains the paranormal. We see things that really aren't there. It's just a glitch somewhere that we're seeing what's really happening beyond the veil. That when you look at yourself or listen to yourself, you always sound different or look different to yourself than when you see yourself in a picture.
Right. Yeah.
because it's then a simulation in the simulation, so they can't get it completely right. There's all this. It's if you really want to just freak yourself out, it's called The Glitch in the Matrix. It's very hard to watch because it gets very, very deep and very. They go into a lot of different theory and it's a very strange documentary to begin with. Just the way it is. There's a lot of computer animation in it, and all the people they talk to, they CGI all the people they talk to, so you're just seeing these weird animations. But it's literally bothered me for about 4 or 5 days now.
Okay, well, I totally want to talk about that, but the first
we
thing
don't have to. I just want to get it off my chest. That's all.
I totally want to talk about that. And the thing that I want to say first, if that's for real, that 13-year-old fucker that's playing me out there, he's got a real funny sense of humor.
I'm not fucking laughing.
Yeah, real funny sense of humor. Huh?
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing too. It's not even so much that it's a game. We're literally all basically the way they explain it. One of the theories is we're basically all in our own little pods in suspended animation. And so whatever my reality is might be a little different than what your reality is. Might be different than what Steve's reality is.
And so like a mix between Matrix and Avatar.
Yeah. But literally, if you take the red pill, you'll wake up.
Right.
If you take the blue pill, then you're stuck in this weird suspended animation.
Oh yeah.
But it literally, it's bothered me for days now. Because you got people like Elon Musk going, yeah, it's
and this is a real theory.
Yeah. And you got somebody like Elon Musk going, yeah, it's real. And the thing is, it's not a new theory. It came around. Philip K. Dick, the writer, started talking about it back in 1973.
Really?
And yes, his last name is Dick.
I was just giggling in my head.
But yeah, he started talking about how
that was the 12-year-old that was controlling.
Yeah, right.
But how he believes it's real.
Wow.
That there's parts of it that are real. Could you imagine that if you're literally living if we're all living in a supposed computer simulation?
Right. And that
It's a cruel damn joke.
Yeah.
Actually, like the new movie with Deadpool,
Ryan
Reynolds, where his world is a video game. His life is a video game. He finds out he's a video game character. So all this time that he spent in his life was controlled by somebody playing a video game the entire time. Go ahead, Amy. Yeah.
What's really interesting and mind-blowing that I'm sitting here thinking about the fact that when I was a kid, I would lay in bed at night and wonder if any of this was real.
And I think a lot of us have done that, and just because that's how our mind works, we want to believe this way and we want to believe that way. And then they collide with each other.
There was that movie, what was it? The Truman Show?
Yeah.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah. That was it's like we're just in a TV show.
Yeah.
One of the things they talked about is the Mandela effect. And you guys know what the Mandela effect is. Where you are positive something's happened. And everybody, a large group of people believe that this thing has happened. But then it turns out later on that no, it was something completely different or it never happened at all. And you all just imagined it.
Right.
Luke, I am your father.
Yeah. Whereas, and in your mind, that you saw this thing or read this or saw it happen. They said, well, it's just basically they got to a point where somebody went, oh, we can't make this actually work right. Just erase it and then tell everybody, no, it was actually this the whole time.
Mind blown.
And the further I got into it, I was like, this is really fucking with my mind right now. It was very disturbing. Honestly, one of the most frightening things I've ever watched.
Okay, but then whose computer program is it?
Well, that's the thing. Right. It's whatever, and they tie it into religion. They're saying, okay, well then that means God is whoever this programmer is that has designed this computer program. So that's why people have different visions of what their God is, because he's basically whatever he's presented this group of people with. So here, let's make these people think I'm Buddha, and I'll take these people. They'll think I'm Mohammed, and these people they'll think I'm Jesus. I'm the same person, but here we'll just make you guys think a little differently. Let's see what happens then.
So, does this mean I'm not going to get Starlink internet? I mean, wow.
I did not come here to get mind fucked. Stop it, Mike.
Too late.
Yeah.
I don't know whatever that fucking thing was we started last week with, the other week with.
Oh,
That song thing.
No, hush.
Wait, I've got a funny story though.
That's a fucking glitch in the Matrix right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So one
That's a
thing,
dick in the Matrix.
yeah.
And everywhere else.
Oh, my Matrix!
So one of the guys I work with, his name's Will, awesome guy. He's a mountain of a man. He's a big boy. He started listening to the podcast, and
I'm so sorry.
and he listened to that episode,
Oh, no.
and
Apologies, Will. Apologies.
and he
Did he
got it.
Google it?
Oh, he got out the Google machine.
Of course he did.
And
Why not?
And he watched the entire video. And then he proceeded to show so many people at work.
Oh my gosh.
And the ones he didn't show, he
House of Air yet?
Yeah.
Watch this.
he told them to Google it.
Oh, no. Oh, good
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I thought he was a good guy.
Yeah. Huh?
I thought he was a good guy.
He's a really good guy.
It's like a bad virus.
Yeah, it really is. I mean,
So that's what the Delta variant is.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we consider ourselves good people, right?
Right.
We told them about it.
That's true. Actually, I was trying not
Yeah,
to.
you were kind of reluctant.
Yeah.
I was like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But y'all did it.
They did it. Yes. And yes, Jason, the video. Yeah, he showed that video to several people at work, and then the ones he didn't show it to, he told them to Google it. And if you're wondering, go back and listen to the last
Or
episode.
don't.
Yeah.
I'm warning you.
Yeah.
I am warning you. Don't.
Yeah, don't do it.
Damn it, Jamie.
But anyway, back to what you guys are talking about. Are you looking for Blue?
He's under my seat.
But that is just... It makes you wonder. It really does. Is it still in your search info?
No.
Oh.
After we got done talking about the video,
Right.
I looked down at my Podbean app, and the text had scrolled back, and all I saw was fist pumping.
Oh my God! Hey, look!
It's Betsy.
It's Betsy Boo. Betsy Boo has entered the chat. Welcome, Betsy. All right, so since you're new, wait, and we got another guy just jumped in here. So since we're 20 minutes in almost, I'm going to let Mike go ahead and just reference what we're discussing right now, and I want you guys in the chat room to throw in your opinions. Give us your opinion, and we will share it with everyone listening to Podbean on this topic that Mike brought to the semicircle table this week.
So we don't have a topic this week, so this is the grab bag. I watched there's a documentary on Hulu right now called A Glitch in the Matrix, and it basically discusses what is called simulation theory. It's the easiest way to explain it is that it's the Matrix come to life. And there's a lot of very intelligent people, Elon Musk included, that believe that, yeah, it's actually true that we are actually being controlled, or at least parts of our lives are being controlled by a computer simulation. And whether that means we're all sitting in pods somewhere in a giant warehouse being kept asleep or whatever. They say that explains a lot of different things, including the paranormal, where you see something and suddenly it disappears, or you see flying saucers or whatever it is. You're getting little glitches and you're actually seeing what's really happening someplace else, and it's not supposed to actually be happening.
Oh, thanks, guys.
That must be a new option. I don't remember seeing it before.
Nice. You can like the show.
Yeah, that little heart down at the bottom.
Very cool. And if you guys listening like the show, hit that little heart and let us know.
That's right.
Thanks, Ultima Boy.
Yes, man. So, yeah.
Well, what do you think that there's any? It's bothered me for about 4 or 5 days now.
So, me personally, just on my religious beliefs, I choose to think that's not accurate. But on the other side, that mind fuck that I have going on naturally, it kind of makes me wonder. It's like, because like I said earlier, we've all sat up at some point in our life and went, is this really happening? Is this shit for real?
I think I choose not to believe that. I don't want to believe that.
Right.
So I just don't allow that to be.
But that's the thing. Are you just choosing not to believe it because it's too hard to?
The concept is just too hard to grasp, maybe. But if it,
because they even went to the fact that that explains people that are psychic, because they're actually able to go back and forth between the actual real, quote unquote, real world.
So they get the red
the
pill.
simulation. They can look and go, oh, well, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. I've read ahead in the script. Mm-hmm. Hey, you're about to get hit by a car. Boom, you got hit by a car.
Wow. I mean, how far-fetched is all of this? I mean,
and one of the explanations,
just for argument's sake,
one of the explanations is that dreams. Mm-hmm. That's actually us getting, rather than us being asleep, that's actually glimmers of what's really actually happening or possibly happening around us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if that's the case, then all those dreams where I'm being chased or drowning or falling or things like that, I mean, God, I hope that's not really happening.
Or they're saying it's memories and glimpses of what's happened to you before you were put into this suspended animation state. It's actual memories back to something that's actually happened to you before.
But would that lead into, I mean, past lives? I mean, that's part of it.
That all this is explained by you actually getting some glimmer of what's really happening someplace. Or somebody trying to feed you a little actual glimmer of what's really happening.
Part of me says it's definitely very plausible, but the other part of me says for as long as humans have existed, they have always been looking for something to blame.
Something to blame
for their troubles in life, or just their bad karma or whatever. I mean, people look for a reason for everything.
Right.
And I think in the day and age of computers, that's a very good thing to latch on to.
Well, people are looking, like you said, for something to blame, to push blame on. People are also looking for something to believe in.
That's true.
Even the atheists that believe in jack shit.
Oh, they're looking for something.
They're looking for something to believe in. This could be
It's a great
something.
song, by the way.
Yeah, it totally was. Yeah. Poison. They rocked. But, maybe this is something for them to grasp onto and believe in this. But, like I said before, me with, my religious views, I choose not to think that way just because me inside my heart feels better not feeling that way and not thinking that way.
Right. But if you go by this theory, then you're not to blame for anything that you do. Right. Someone else is controlling you. Something else is controlling you. So I think that's easy.
Okay.
It's easy for people who go with this theory to think, well, it's not me.
Right.
It's not my fault.
So
now here's something with the religious side. Now this is, I was sitting there watching and I went, okay, now that really, because this is where it really started to fuck me up too. Because I'm going
to have to watch this tomorrow.
They basically said religion is one of the things that the program feeds you so that you don't question what's really happening.
Of course.
Of course. Yeah.
Of course.
If you get somebody to believe enough into this, then they're never going to go, oh, well, here's what's really happening.
Yeah.
But
The
then
shiny
that-
keys dangling, so
it's-
you go, oh, don't look
it's-
over there.
It kind of comes down to that theory is giving people a way to not take responsibility for their own actions because, oh my God, I'm not doing this.
Right.
Somebody else is doing this. And,
I'm not in control of anything.
Yeah. It takes away that whole, concept of
But the thing
personal
is
responsibility.
it's not so much that you don't have responsibility. You're still making choices within this framework.
But it could give people that perspective of, if they really, dig into this, it could give them that mindset of, well, somebody else is.
yeah.
That wasn't me.
And the
That
thing
was.
is,
I'm sorry.
and that's
I
one
did
of the things they got into
I
is the
didn't
fact
kill
that
that person. Somebody made me do
that
it.
it's that you're still making choices, but it explains those people that you know that make bad choices all the time, and nothing ever happens to them, or the people that do really good all the time and have nothing but bad luck always. Mm-hmm. It's almost as if there's some little glitch.
So you're
somewhere.
saying our buddy Ted Bundy, maybe he didn't do it. That was Leroy outside somewhere in some pod, making Ted Bundy be Ted Bundy. See, I think he was just evil. Ted Bundy was just a demon that was allowed to walk the earth and do what he did.
But if you buy into this theory,
Mm-hmm. Oh, if you buy into
maybe
this theory.
he had a glimpse into reality and was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
This isn't real anyway.
Right.
Or he was a program that whatever creator did it said, here, what happens when we introduce this into the program?
He's a virus in the program.
He's a virus in the program.
Did you see that? No, wait. I know what your thoughts are, but did you see that? That's like 5 times this week. Steve's had like an idea, like a good idea. No, for real. This week he has saved my ass 4 different times, and this was just a
maybe
good
it wasn't
thought.
me
It was Leroy in the pod.
or Larry.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things they talk about too is the actual pandemic. Mm-hmm. That this is either a virus that has come into the program, a glitch somewhere in the program that is these people are suddenly dying off in the real world, so we've got to kill them off in the program, or this is another designed part of the program. Let's see what happens when we do this, when we introduce this into the software.
Oh, Betsy actually brings up a good point.
Read that.
Deja vu.
Yeah, she said, I always thought there was a glitch in the Matrix. Meant like deja vu. Mm-hmm. And that's because how many times have I know me personally.
Several.
I have experienced deja vu several times.
This week.
No, I've never experienced this week before, ever.
No, I'm saying several times this week.
Yeah. But all of these are valid thoughts, that play into this theory. But
I have to watch this tomorrow.
yeah, I'm going to have to watch this documentary.
Get ready, because seriously, when you're done, you'll be just like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Right.
And then after you sit and think about it for a day, you go, oh my God, what the fuck did I watch? And then it literally stays with you. And then everything you do from that point forward, you go, okay, well, what if I just didn't do this? Mm-hmm. What if I just got in my car and pushed on the gas and didn't actually steer? What would happen? Would I die? Would I get hurt? What would happen?
That would be a bad decision.
But I mean, say you did do that. Mm-hmm. You were like, I wonder what would happen.
And then what if nothing happened? What if I came out without a scratch and nothing happened? Oh, he's really lucky. You're really lucky nothing happened.
Exactly. But would you want to risk that?
I don't know.
No. I mean, would you want to risk?
If it's true, is that really a life that I want to be living? I don't know.
Somebody can try.
Yeah.
Just sitting in a pod
might,
somewhere.
I mean, I'm not willing to try that.
No, me either.
Well, no.
No.
Because we have what's been given to us as common sense.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. Even that 12-year-old's controlling me right now in his bedroom. He knows better than that shit.
He's like,
I ain't gonna do that.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not
But
gonna
when
do
you really
that.
start thinking of all those weird, unexplainable things that have ever happened to you, or just the weird little, weird glitchy things. Like I said, when you see yourself in a picture and go, "That I don't look like
Right.
that."
Yeah.
I look like this in the mirror, not
Yeah.
like that. I sound like this. I hear a recording. That's not me.
Right.
Well,
I
it's
mean,
because
And that's
I never think I look the same in pictures
as you do in the mirror.
as I do in the mirror, and
Yeah.
I never think I sound the way I do. When I hear myself back on a podcast, I don't think I don't think I sound like that.
Right.
I don't. So I mean,
well, then you really get into the fucking your mind thing when you think about, okay, I know what your voice sounds like to me. I have no idea if your voice sounds the same way to Steve
right?
or to Amy or to Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I know what I know. I know what I think you sound like.
Right.
You know.
I mean, that's just one of those things that we'll never know.
Speaking of you sounding like, the other day we were sitting here, totally off topic, because
What?
this is the BS chat. But we were sitting here watching TV the other day while I was taking a break from sweating my balls off outside, and came in and the TV was on American Dad, and I'm sitting there and American Dad's sitting there talking, and I'm like, who's he remind you of?
Is that Mike?
And Andrea's like, I don't know. I was like, Mike. He reminds me of Mike.
Well, thank you very much.
It was when his son was going to sing the national anthem.
Oh my gosh, the war reenactment.
Yes, the war reenactment. And so he was like, you've never fought for our country. You don't know how to sing the national anthem. So I'm taking you to this war reenactment and let you participate in the war reenactment, and then you can sing the national anthem. And his son got mind fucked.
Got
big time.
PTSD by like paintballs.
PTSD from the war reenactment. And he's sitting there and he's like, you just don't know how hard it is. And fireworks went off and it triggered. He got up there to sing the national anthem and fireworks went off.
In front of a lot of old veterans, and then he starts going crazy, and all the
Rips his
veterans are like
clothes off.
getting their canes. Pow, 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 pow. Pow, 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 pow.
When he was talking, the way he was talking to him, like, you don't know. I was like, it's Mike.
Great.
But it was so funny.
Yeah. Betsy, I love how he sings it like Michael Jackson.
So she watched the episode
Yep.
too. Yeah. But,
Oh, that's funny.
yeah, if you haven't watched that episode, you got to watch that episode. It is so funny. But okay, we got off on
A lot of tangents.
well, I mean, it kind of went into dreams and all that, which I wrote down for a reason. So this week, and was it 2 weeks ago? I told you about the nightmare that I had that totally.
Yeah.
I had that same dream 2 nights ago. The same exact dream.
Really?
Yes. So we, as a team, went to investigate this house. In my dream, the house is so vivid. Outside of my dream, I can't remember, like when I first woke up from the dream, because it was that nightmare that woke me up. And I'm like looking around the room. At that moment, I knew this house. When I woke up the next morning, I can't picture this house. I can't tell you any detail about this house at all. But I do know that it messed me up to the point, both times that I've had this dream, that I did not want to close my eyes. I mean, fear. And I've only experienced fear from a dream, twice in my entire life that I can think of. And
Damn, you're lucky.
yeah. And once it was like, it had to do with my
He thought he
papa.
was out of Cocoa Puffs.
I don't eat that shit. Golden grams. Golden grams.
You don't go cuckoo for Cocoa
I
Puffs?
do not.
What the fuck is
doesn't.
wrong with you?
I don't. I just do not.
It's like the best shit ever because when you're done with the cereal, you've got chocolate milk.
That's Cocoa Krispies.
And Cocoa Puffs.
And Cocoa
I
Puffs.
know,
Yep.
but Krispies like just.
Yeah. But see,
They
neither
hit
one of them
different.
I'm not a fan of. I'm.
Who are you? God,
You know this.
I know,
already.
but
Give me Fruity Pebbles. Fruity Pebbles
I
milk.
was just going to get ready to say he's a Fruity Pebble.
yes,
Yeah, I like Fruity Pebbles milk. I have Fruity Pebbles coffee creamer in the fridge at this very moment.
true.
Oh, dude,
It's actually really good.
It's amazing. It is so good. So good.
I'm going to take your word for it.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch or the new Dulce de Leche Crunch. It's fantastic.
Haven't had it. I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Reese's Puffs.
Oh, I love Reese's Puffs. Yes, I love Reese's Puffs.
Give me my coffee like I like my women. Strong and black.
Betsy Boo said also
He
s'mores
forgot-
cereal.
He forgot to say
Yes.
full-bodied.
So uncomfortable, right?
Oh, so did Ultima Boy.
So uncomfortable.
That's why we're talking about s'mores cereal.
2 people suggested s'more cereal. We're going
S'mores
to get
cereal
s'more
by
cereal.
General Mills. It's a great cereal.
It's fantastic. Chocolate and grams and marshmallows.
I like my milk like I like my women.
Cold and white.
Cold and dark.
Oh, I hope you,
Lactose.
I hope you guys have enjoyed this 12-minute podcast.
I've been pretty fucking quiet all night. I had to throw my 2 cents in there.
Yeah. But
Crack in a box.
cracking a box. But this dream, though, like I was saying before, the one years ago that I had was one about my papaw dying,
Right.
and it was a dream of him getting shot inside of our house. I had that dream. It was a repeat offender. I mean, probably 30 times at least. I had that dream. It never happened. But that was the dream that I had.
But have you dug in and determined why you had that dream?
No, not really. Unless it was just, because he was sick. You just feared losing him.
Yeah, but being shot in the house?
And he died in that house.
Yeah.
But this was, long before he ever died that I had this dream. But this one, I did not want to close my eyes after waking up from this dream. I felt like whatever was affecting me during the dream was going to come at me. What are you mouthing singing
He's
over
singing,
there?
I'm singing.
I don't want to close my eyes.
I don't want to fall asleep.
But
and I need y'all to look at the face Lucifer's making over here as Michael scratches on
Lucifer
it.
is...
He's not feeling
He's
too
not
well.
feeling good. He's not been feeling good all day.
Oh, no. So this is therapy for him.
If you notice, he hasn't really barked at all. Like during the podcast, he hasn't barked at all.
That's true. What did y'all do to him?
We were
hurt his-
gone all day.
Yeah, he hurt his leg a couple days ago, and
Well, no, it's been over a week.
has it been a week?
Yeah, it's been over a week.
And sometimes he seems like he's fine.
His
I think he's got a bellyache. To be honest.
is he gaseous, Mike?
Yes, his stomach is very
Tight.
tight,
Yeah.
and I think he just farted.
Ah,
Or
maybe.
possibly shit on me. One of the two.
Well, maybe that'll help him feel better.
At least it's not shit in your mustache.
Damn it.
Did you
He's on
poop?
over here.
Did you poop, Boo Bear?
I can taste it.
Is that shit in your mustache?
Shit on my mustache. Damn it, Carl.
And you wonder why you were picked last. God bless.
Yeah. So Betsy says there was one time I had a dream where I was somewhere I've never been before. I've never seen before. Then about 2 days later, I passed it in my car. So weird. You said you may call it a glitch in the Matrix. So, and then Ultimate Warrior says dingleberries.
It completely explains dingleberries.
Yes. But I think he was referring to the shit in your mustache. Yeah.
Or a strange cereal we haven't heard before.
Yeah. Dingleberries.
Dingleberry.
Post toasty dingleberries.
Have I mentioned how I like my coffee?
Yes.
Like you like your dingleberries? Brown and crunchy.
Oh. Not to mention the poo-poo puffs.
Boy says poo-poo
No, but you talk about recurring dreams. I used to have one back when I was, early teens, maybe. But it seemed like it was an every night occurrence. I'd be walking down the street, and then I would start being chased by these creatures. I mean, and I'd run as fast as I could. They'd get up close to me, and then they'd fall back, and it just kept running and running and running.
How old were you?
In my early teens.
Early teens.
Probably maybe 12, 13, 14, somewhere
And
around
so,
there.
yeah, so that was way before, other than like, the really good zombie movies that came out.
Yeah.
But
they weren't zombies. To me, now that I think back after doing what we do, to me, I think they were grays. But
oh, fuck that.
so I don't know. I mean, but it seemed like it happened for year and a half straight.
See, I had a similar recurring dream around the same time. I was probably early to mid teens, and it was the same thing all the time, and it went on for probably 2 years. And I would wake up, I'd be asleep. In my dream, I'd wake up and I'd be in this house. I don't know, I'd never seen the house before, but something was chasing me through the house, and it was like this unseen. I never saw what it was. I just knew it was coming down the hall chasing me. And I would start going, and no matter where I ran in the house kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it would get always to this big long hallway, and I would start to run down this hallway, and I would literally almost sink into the hallway, and I couldn't get any faster, and whatever it was getting closer and closer. Then I wake up.
Wow.
I mean, it was I would wake up in a cold sweat. It was terrifying. Yeah. Terrifying.
I looked at Andrea when you started talking, just because I thought you were going to go somewhere
in a completely different direction.
Yeah, I didn't think you were going to be like about an actual dream. I thought you were going to be talking something about, and then the condom broke, or.
And then suddenly I had shit on my mustache. Damn it, Carl.
No, I mean, alien dreams. That,
Isn't it an abduction?
That's what I'm thinking. Is that an abduction? Did you wake up sore?
I can't remember.
So we come back in the circle. What if alien abductions, if we go back to that simulation theory, what if that's actually whatever is out there keeping us alive in the pods? That's just when they're pulling us out to do some sort of checkup or maintenance.
The program could be making an extra folder for us, and it's just pulling that part away.
Those are the caretakers. The aliens are the caretakers.
What the fuck have we got going here?
I told you this was one of the most frightening things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, Andrea took her headphones off. She's like, "Now screw this shit."
Fuck it, I'm out of here.
I'm going this way.
Okay, so dreams like that. Could that be the thought of my dreams being controlled by someone else? I think that disturbs me more than the thought of me being controlled by someone else. Because your dream state, that's, you're at rest, and the ship that's boiling in your mind creates your dreams or whatever. But the thought of me being asleep and someone controlling not only me, but the dreams I'm having, I think that bothers me more.
Disturbing.
Yeah. I mean, like Steve being...
Depends on what kind of dream.
Well, I'm not talking about, those 12-year-old wet dreams.
12?
How old are you, Steve?
But those... Okay, like the alien dreams. what if that was controlled by something just to put that fear in you? You know, how fucked up does someone writing this program have to be just to instill fear in us while we're trying to rest?
Okay, so
But are we
Psycho.
really resting, or did he just shut the computer off for the night?
it's along the same line. Before I say this, I'm going to apologize to everybody out there for ruining your sleep for however long this happens. But think about sleep in itself. How fucked up is sleep in itself?
Yeah.
It's the closest we get
To death.
while still being alive. We paralyze our bodies somehow. Our brain basically gets to the point where it paralyzes our bodies. It gets us into the lowest resting heart rate. We just barely breathe. And for some reason, after 8 or 9 hours or 6 or to 8 hours, we just suddenly wake up and we're good again.
Yeah.
And some people just don't. Some people die in their sleep
Right.
for no other thing than, well, they just died in their sleep.
Right.
How fucked up is that? Every night we go through the same ritual to basically sit there and go, okay, shut everything off. I'll see you in
it's a
8
reboot.
hours.
Yeah, it's a reboot.
Damn thing. Margaret, come here and pull the plug for 10 seconds. Then plug her back in.
Unplug it. The light's got to go on.
Not the fucking TV, the computer.
Now plug it back. It's still yellow. It's flashing yellow. The light.
Call
Unplug it again. It's got to be green.
Call tech support.
Oh, fuck. Now it's red.
We lost him. Build another one. I don't know. Well, it's just, have you seen the new singing competition?
No, which one?
The Avatar one?
Yes. So these people come on this, it's a new singing competition. And you don't see the actual person singing. You see their avatar performing in front of you. And what is it?
Zizo said hi and wants to know what's going on. I don't know.
We don't even know. So Mike saw this documentary on Hulu about how, what if our life was an actual real life matrix and we were controlled by some being or something, perhaps in a pod somewhere, and our life wasn't our own, but basically a computer simulation of what someone is programming our life to be.
They need to program me thinner.
No shit. Yeah.
I want to be thinner. I want Cindy Crawford's body.
I want to be 5'10"
Now.
like Cindy Crawford.
I want a cup of black coffee.
All right, Andrea. So read what Betsy Boo said there.
She said, I cannot go a night without dreaming. It's such a nuisance and I complain about it all the time, but I can honestly say I've never had the same dream more than once. I'm happier for that, though. I, unfortunately, have had several dreams.
That reoccur?
Reoccurring dreams, nightmares. And she also said, I'm also thinking if someone or something can't control your dreams, would that same thing be causing sleep paralysis for the people who experience that?
See, I was thinking, like when you were talking about your dream, and you were talking about your dream, and then how that interweaves with this topic that we've got going tonight. How does sleep paralysis fit in with that? You know, I mean, because
The computer got accidentally shut off.
somebody spilled black coffee on it.
Possibly.
Or something's happening
Power
to you.
surge.
This is very creepy and bothersome. Something's actually happening to your body while it's in the pod. They've opened the pod and somebody's laying on top of you they're trying their best to save you or something. That's why you get that feel. I felt like someone was laying on me and I couldn't move.
Shut up, Mike.
I was sitting here going, why does he have an answer for everything?
For real. Shut up. Just shut up.
Well, just past weekend, my niece was up from Florida, and I guess here within the past 3 years, she's been experiencing sleep paralysis just about every other night for the 3 years.
Oh my gosh.
Really?
And she says she feels like there's someone on top of her. But she says she doesn't see anything. She just feels the weight.
Ooh,
On her.
Betsy, that's a good point. Could explain why people usually see the same old hag.
That's true.
Right.
Because it's the same person trying to wake someone up in the pod.
There's some old hag that's like in the center of the pods in control when they, like, an alarm goes off and the person's like crashing. I gotta go get George. Come on, George. Get up.
Damn it, it's number 42 again.
And it's Lucille, the lunch lady.
I was playing Minesweeper, you fuck.
Minesweeper.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, the old hag. So, say it is what's going on, you know, and it is, like you guys said, someone crashing or whatever, and someone trying to get them to come back to consciousness or whatever during this pod-like state. Could that old hag be the person trying to wake you up or reboot you or whatever, and a light behind them blacking out their face, you're seeing their hair, you know, the light from their hair. I mean, am I thinking about this too much?
Andrea's never going to sleep again.
I'm just
Oh,
going to
no,
say,
I'll
I'm
be
glad you
fine.
guys got a king size bed. Scoot your asses over.
We're sharing the same pod tonight.
I'll be fine. I'll lay down. I'll be out.
That's me. I hardly ever dream anymore.
See, I know that I dream. I just don't remember them. Like most of the time.
You just refuse to try to remember them?
No,
or
there's
just,
been a lot of times where I'm like, man, what was that? You know, I remember that I've dreamt something and it was like intense or whatever, and I'll try to remember it, but it's just one of those where details are.
Okay.
You know what that is?
I can remember the feeling of, you know, what, you know, my feelings in the dream.
But the dream just wasn't vivid enough for you to remember.
Yeah.
Was that mainly in this home?
Where else do I sleep?
Well,
no,
you've
your
slept
other
there.
home, like before.
No, actually, that's happened.
See, because we do have a buffering issue here.
We do.
Maybe that's why you don't remember. Maybe it's a buffer.
I keep dreaming of a giant circle. It's just spinning.
Yeah.
The ring.
The ring. Yeah.
Buffering.
Okay.
Buffering.
All right. So, what is your, that you can remember, what is your most terrifying dream?
I've had a couple, but one in particular, I was actually quite young, probably 8, 9 years old. And I'm probably talked about this, but remember the story in Oak Ridge? It was oh my gosh, Watson, was it Watson's?
Watson's, yes.
So they had like the adults, you know, clothes and whatnot upstairs, and then you go down the stairwell and it was mirrors, and you go down the stairs and there's like the toys.
Right.
Well, I had a dream that I was at Watson's with my mom, and she was up in the upper part, and I wanted to go down to the toys. Well, I went down to go play, but I was down there forever, and I was, you know, at the point of like, where's my mom? So I started going up the stairs, but like everything turned into mirrors, and all I could see were stairs, and there was like, it was one of those,
So no way to get out.
no way to get out. It was just everywhere I looked, it was stairs, you know, because the mirrors were reflecting. I'm screaming for my mom, couldn't get up, you know, couldn't get out, couldn't get up, couldn't wake up. It took me forever to wake up, and I had that several times.
Wow. That's pretty terrifying. I mean, especially if you're young.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And that's a terrifying
I think
dream.
I probably had that same dream over the course of probably 3 or 4 years.
Okay. During your childhood, any time that you went out with your mom shopping or whatever, did you ever get like lost from her for a second?
Or locked in the dressing room?
With a mannequin?
Oh, God.
I was just thinking mirrors and no way out.
I don't. I think there was one time that I had gotten lost from my mom.
Or did you ever have that fear of getting lost from your mom when you guys would go out?
No, it was beaten to my head that if I did,
well, maybe that's probably why you had that dream.
that was that whole thing. Don't get too far because you're going to get lost. Somebody's going to take you, and I mean, it was beat into my head.
It takes 3 minutes to drive from one end of Oak Ridge to the other. You could be anywhere.
For real.
So,
here's a question. For you. Talking about when we were kids and stuff and dreams and everything, kind of along the same line. Does anybody here have a memory that they know of, that something they saw or something they witnessed, something they experienced, and then years later you go to talk about it with other people that were there with you, and nobody remembers it ever happening? You're the only one who remembers it happening.
I have the opposite of that. I had an opposite situation where I really thought it was a dream, and was discussing it with my cousin about how, because I had this dream, and the first time I had it, I was a kid, and then I dreamed about it. And she was like, no, that was real. We were out, and she was like, she called her other sister over, and like the whole group of cousins were together, because it was like when my grandpa was passing, we were all there. And I was like, yeah, I had this really crazy fucked up dream one time. And she was like, about what? And I was like, well, you guys were all there, and this is what happened. And she was like, no, that was real. We were all there. And this happened, and this happened, and this happened. And we were all like, oh my God, that was real.
When I was 6 or 7, we were leaving it was a store, walking out of the parking lot, and there was, and I remember this vividly. I still to this day remember it vividly. There's a little girl and her family, kind of about 10 feet in front of us, and as we were getting ready to cross, the parking lot to go over to from in front of the store to go over to the cars, she suddenly took off running across the parking lot, and a motorcycle came and hit her and knocked her to the ground. I mean, she was badly injured. There was an ambulance that came, and I remember one of her shoes came off, and my mom was standing behind me. She just started bawling because the little girl was maybe a year or two younger than me, and the motorcycle driver was so upset with it, he like picked up the shoe and walked over. I thought my mom was her mother, and walked over and handed her the shoe, and I remember that. That apparently never happened, because neither my dad or mother remember it. I went and looked back. I tried to nothing. Can't find anything about it. But I know it happened. I remember it. I mean, it literally implanted on my brain, and I remember it happening because it was such a shocking event.
Yeah, that's a pretty traumatic thing to.
Could that be a reincarnation memory?
I don't know. Yeah. Mom and Dad don't remember a single thing about it. I know they were there.
We've talked before reincarnation, and like the kid that totally remembered everything that happened during the terrorist attack on 9/11. He was never born, but remembered the office he worked in, remembered where he was when it happened, remembered every names of workers in the trade center that died. Remembered all this, but the kid was never born when it happened. So could that be a reincarnation thing? I mean,
right. Well, wasn't there a movie that came out several years ago about a young boy that had a near death experience or whatever, but started talking about his past life and
and it was based on a true story,
right?
It's like, Heaven
knows or something.
Heaven is real.
Yeah.
Heaven is real. Yeah, it was based on a true story. I remember the little kid was basically talking about, I guess, members of his family from when his great grandfather was alive,
right?
But yeah, and how he had died and gone to heaven, and remembers meeting them, and then came back and was suddenly born as this little boy.
Wow, I've never seen that movie.
I've never
I
seen it.
haven't
I've heard a lot of people talk about it.
Wow.
Saw the previews.
I don't remember if it was a reincarnation story, if it was a near death.
near death,
and he was
right.
actually in heaven and then came back and remembers seeing people in heaven.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because he had information that he there's no way he would know.
Sure.
And
I think I'd rather believe in reincarnation than the whole somebody's
Matrix.
controlling me.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I would too. But that's not what's happening.
God. Let me believe what I want to believe. God.
All right, on that note, let's take a quick break and everybody can refill their refreshments. And Andrea, I'm disappointed because you are not drinking your normal. You're drinking a water.
I am drinking a water.
What?
All right. Well, let's get this situation.
Running behind and
Let's get this situation corrected. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back in about.
I'm gonna get me a black coffee.
in about 2 minutes, guys.
Let me get some milk.
So many people spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars on that perfect infrared camera, hoping to catch that epic paranormal shot or simply to document their nighttime escapades, only to pair it up with an IR illuminator that gives off a hotspot in the center of the frame and performs subpar for their camera's capabilities. We did the same thing. Let me save you some time and money spent on multiple IR lights with one name, Deadlight. Created from the minds of Josh Bender and Justin Brown, who are also paranormal investigators, the Deadlight is the elite light to add to your camera arsenal. We have tested the Deadlight and illuminated areas up to 300 feet away. Did I mention these lights are built like a tank? Super durable and sturdy construction. Josh builds each Deadlight to meet your needs and is in constant contact during the building process. So forget the other lights out there and go straight to the best. You can check out the complete line of Deadlights on Facebook at Deadlight LLC. Justin and Josh are constantly exploring new features to add to the Deadlights. ETGS will never use another light in the field, simply because nothing else compares. Get your Deadlight today and you too can light up the night.
You're listening to Paranormal Talk with East and Seco Seekers, a new perspective in paranormal talk radio.
You're listening to Paratalk. If you have a question or an experience to share, email us at etgsparatalk@gmail.com or call 865-264-0448. And now, back to Paratalk.
All right, guys, we're back and we're still waiting on Steve. He went to
Go make him coffee.
Did he go to make coffee?
I think he did.
I think he did. Yeah. He got started talking about that strong black coffee, and he had to go get him a big old steaming cup. Ugh. I just do I have shit on my mustache?
Damn it, Carl. I told you not to aim there.
I think I got shit on my mustache.
Got shit on my mustache.
Son of a bitch. He's pitiful.
I got to take him to the doctor.
Yeah, he's pitiful. He's totally not acting right. You guys know. You guys listen. You guys know how Blue is. Blue is not even reacting to me saying his name right now. And usually when I would say his name, he would look toward me like, hey, so you want to hold me now? And he's just laying in Andrea's arms, burying his nose in the bend of her elbow. So
He barely barked when we got here.
yeah, he's totally not feeling good. So if you guys can give some well wishes and stuff, and say a little prayer for our Blue, hopefully he gets to feeling better. Yeah, we miss his sparkiness.
Yeah.
He needs a doggy laxative.
He may, and he can
He
sleep.
got a fart stuck sideways.
He got a fart stuck sideways. It went.
I hate it when that happens.
So today, Andrea and I went with my dad because my dad moved back to town for the first time since I was 5. He moved. Nice. Yeah, he moved here. That's where we were last week. Why we didn't have the show last week because we were helping my dad move from. Well, he moved from Missouri, from Independence, Missouri, right next to Kansas City, here, and he lives in a set of haunted apartments in Oak Ridge.
Nice.
Yes. And so hopefully he has some strange goings on inside of his apartment, and it keeps him awake every now and then to tickle me to death. But so we went with him today, and Andrea and I were looking at campers because we're wanting to get a camper because after the last camping trip that we were on 2 weeks ago, when we didn't do the podcast. If you guys are friends with us on Facebook, you saw that we had 7 inches of rain in the back of the tent.
It was a lot.
It was a whole lot.
The air mattresses were floating.
The air mattresses were floating inside of our tent. So we wound up leaving at 11:30, 12 o'clock from the campground and coming back home to get out of the rain. Are you okay, Mike?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the big news.
Okay. So
I think I know what it is.
We went over.
I think I know what it is.
I don't think you do.
I know what it is.
I'm misleading you. I'm totally misleading. I'm misguiding you.
So are you doing it or is someone else doing it?
Someone else may be misguiding you. Some little, Filipino kid.
Yeah, it's not me. It's not me.
So, but went up and we looked at campers, and so hopefully a camper will be coming our way soon if the numbers that we presented can be met.
Cool.
But on the drive from this camper place we went to in Kentucky to a camper place in Knoxville, I get a phone call. And it was, the phone call was coming from Santa Barbara, California.
Ooh.
And
Kardashians.
Ick.
Yeah, it was the Kardashians. No. Amy was like, what? But, so it was this man named Daniel from Painless Productions, which is the production company for Fright Club.
What?
Yes, Fright Club with Jack Osborne and the Ghost Brothers.
Yeah.
Well, several months ago, back when the first season aired, I had submitted our clip from Hell's Bar where we got the apparition of the little girl. Well, probably 2 months ago or longer, he had messaged me or emailed me and was asking me about the clip. Well, after a Skype phone call with him and a little interview and several emails back and forth, this Monday, I will be interviewed by Jack Osborne and the Ghost Brothers and a special guest who he hasn't told me for
I would shit
for the next season of Fright Club.
Because
That's
they always have one expert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got off the phone. I told Andrea, I said, oh my God, I hope it's Cindy Kaza.
And then I was
or
like,
Dave Schrader.
Dave Schrader.
Yeah. But who cares who it is? It's just going to be awesome.
John Zaffis.
That would be cool too. But yeah.
Grant Wilson.
I wonder if I've never seen him on there. I think I've seen John Zaffis, maybe. I can't remember.
Chris Williams.
Jason Hawes.
Zach Baggins. That would be my freaking luck.
Willy Wonka.
And the Chocolate Factory.
No, just Willy.
Oh, okay.
Stephen, we've got a special guest here for you. It's Zach Bagans. What's up, dude? How are you, dude? I liked your clip.
I watched your clip, and I heard her say my name.
She said my name.
Dude, bro.
It's when you were coming up the hall.
I heard her say dildo. That's me.
But yeah, so our clip will be on the next season of Ghost or Fright Club.
Say what?
Yeah, Fright
Ghost
Club.
Fright Fuck it.
Don't do that when they
Ghost
interview
Fight
you.
Club.
Yeah. I love being here on Ghost.
I like Ghost Fight Club.
Ghost Fight Club.
First rule of Ghost Fight Club: don't talk about Ghost Fight Club.
But yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. You know, our little clip got noticed, and
Don't cuss.
yeah, I know. Yeah, fuck.
Bad start.
It's a good fucking thing they interviewing me.
Shitless. I mean,
Shirtless.
shitless. Damn it.
Shirtless.
Sorry.
Did they tell you I had Tourette's? But yeah, so look for that on the new season of Fright Club coming. I'll let you guys know what episode it will be. So totally stoked.
That's awesome.
Totally stoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
thought we were getting a new trailer.
So did I.
Hey. Well, let
just-
me tell you this, okay? Your girl over here is totally looking out for everybody because the one that we're getting sleeps 10.
Yeah. Woo! Yeah.
I already called the bottom bunk.
Damn it.
It's big enough for both of you guys.
Just snuggle a bit.
Yeah.
Keep each other warm.
Is that shit in your mustache?
Not in the camper.
What's the name of that video?
Houses of air.
But yeah, so the camper that because I picked out one, she picked out one, and she won.
I like my campers like I like my Steve. Open and fits 10. That didn't sound right.
No.
Shit on my mustache.
From 10.
But yeah, so like we were telling when we were, you guys are horrible. When we were out there talking to the guy, I was like, this isn't going to be used for just camping. I was like, we also do paranormal investigating.
Not gonna be used for camping. Do mobile orgies.
RV porn.
RV porn. Ever see something called Houses of Air? We're doing one called RV of Air.
Starring Steve Weissman.
You see the camper rocking.
You come a knocking.
Yeah. It's going to have a sticker on the back of it that says fake camper.
Oh, we'll be the kings of porn.
Fake camper.
Speaking of porn, Ron Jeremy's in a world of shit right now. He's looking at some serious prison time.
For real.
Yeah, for sexual assaults and
what?
Oh yeah, from back in several years ago. Many women have come forward.
I'm not surprised.
The hedgehog.
Man.
Here's the thing. Here's what I don't understand. The man had pussy thrown at him all the time. Why does he feel the need to
Take
get some
advantage?
that isn't up for offer?
Or did he? And is it just because this is so much into the
If your
news
friend
right now?
does not
entirely
want
possible.
tea, do not pour tea down their throat.
Don't give them tea while they're sleeping.
The glitch in the Matrix thing. What if that dude's with his joystick? When maybe we're just hugging. Thinking that we're just hugging, and he's got that joystick going in, out, in, out. You're like, hey, baby.
You hit the wrong button. It's not XXY. It's XXQ. Oh, damn it. Sorry.
Remind me never to hug Steve.
You might like it.
When he starts yelling glitch in the Matrix, run away. What's that boy doing?
What's that video called?
I don't know. I'd have to text Sander.
Okay, hold on. I'm just going to try. I got to play this audio for you guys. It's freaking
Is
hilarious.
this like that video you showed us last time?
No.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Is this when he was playing at the restaurant last night?
Yes.
That's probably what's wrong with Blue. He saw that video. He went, fuck it, I'm out.
Okay, here it is. All right,
Okay.
let me connect Bluetooth here. Because
Now, let's just preface this by saying that, Xander is in college now. And their first full week was last week, and they had to do like some orientation classes and stuff like that to get them,
Orientated?
yeah, that kind of thing. So I got a text from him, and he said, they just said that T is consent. And I said, what? He goes, T equals consent. And I was like, I don't get it. What are you talking about? I'm beyond confused. I'm actually asking Hayden at this point, 15 years old. I'm like, do you understand this? He's like, I don't know.
all right,
So anyway,
this video gets played to college kids. And before you tell them any more about it,
I know, go for it.
I'm going to play this video. So, yeah.
If you're still struggling with consent, just imagine instead of initiating sex, you're making them a cup of tea. You say, hey, would you like a cup of tea? And they go, oh my God, fuck yes, I would fucking love a cup of tea. Thank you. Then you know they want a cup of tea. If you say, hey, would you like a cup of tea? And they're like, I'm not really sure. Then you could make them a cup of tea or not, but be aware they might not drink it. And if they don't drink it, then, and this is the important part, don't make them drink it. Just because you made it doesn't mean you are entitled to watch them drink it. And if they say no thank you, then don't make them tea. At all. Just don't make them tea. Don't make them drink tea. Don't get annoyed at them for not wanting tea. They just don't want tea, okay? They might say, yes, please. That's kind of you. And then when the tea arrives, they actually don't want the tea at all. Sure, that's kind of annoying as you've gone to all the effort of making the tea, but they remain under no obligation to drink the tea. They did want tea, now they don't. Some people change their mind in the time that it takes to boil the kettle, brew the tea, and add the milk. And it's okay for people to change their mind. And you are still not entitled to watch them drink it. And if they're unconscious, don't make them tea. Unconscious people don't want tea. And they can't answer the question, do you want tea? Because they're unconscious. Okay, maybe they were conscious when you asked them if they wanted tea. And they said yes. But in the time it took you to boil the kettle, brew the tea, and add the milk, they are now unconscious. You should just put the tea down. Make sure the unconscious person is safe. And this is the important part again. Don't make them drink the tea. They said yes then, sure, but unconscious people don't want tea. If someone said yes to tea, started drinking it, and then passed out before they'd finished it, don't keep on pouring it down their throat. Take the tea away. Make sure they're safe, because unconscious people don't want tea. Trust me on this. If someone said yes to tea around your house last Saturday, that doesn't mean they want you to make them tea all the time. They don't want you to come around to their place unexpectedly and make them tea and force them to drink it going, but you wanted tea last week. Or to wake up to find you pouring tea down their throat going, but you wanted tea last night. If you can understand how completely ludicrous it is to force people to have tea when they don't want tea, and you're able to understand when people don't want tea, then how hard is it to understand it when it comes to sex? Whether it's tea or sex, consent is everything. And on that note, I'm going to go make myself a cup of tea.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
I mean,
That's what they're showing college kids?
yes.
yes.
First of all, that had to have been Canadian.
He said that there was a room full of like 300 freshmen, and they were laughing so hard during this that the orientation instructor had to stop the movie and say, everybody needs to quiet down and watch this. I mean,
They're showing this to a group of 17, 18, and 19-year-olds.
yes. I was like, they do realize you're college kids, right?
Oh, my God.
Yes, and you guys, if the funny part is this video, it's a stick figure. It's all done with stick figures.
It just speaks to how pansified
Our education system.
society is. When you have to, I mean, can they not just say, don't have sex with someone who's unconscious?
Yeah, that's rape, dude.
That's rape.
Yeah.
oh, she said 5 minutes ago she wanted to have sex with you, but she changed her mind and now she doesn't. But you still do it? That's
she
rape.
Said she wanted to have tea, but now she's unconscious. Now she doesn't want the tea.
She doesn't want the tea.
Maybe she's dreaming about the tea while she's unconscious, but don't give her tea.
And stop forcing it down her throat.
Don't force your tea down her throat.
You know what we used to call them back when I was in college?
What?
Tea teases. Tea. No, thank you.
Yeah.
The fuck? You wanted tea 5 minutes ago.
I've already brewed it.
What am I supposed to do with this tea now?
Look how steeped it is.
Throw it on ice, mister.
Now I got blue tea.
That's
I've
why
even
I
brought
drink
out
coffee.
the milk.
You don't even have to add cream.
I like my tea like I like my sex. Forced down my throat while I'm unconscious. Just kidding. Don't do that, kids.
Unless you're serving Mike tea. He probably likes
Remember,
it.
consent is everything.
Everything.
Tea means tea.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wonder if Bill Clinton made Monica Lewinsky a cup of tea.
I have never drank tea with that woman.
Did you see that there is a new movie coming out about that? About the Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky
Bill
scandal.
Clinton drinking tea with Monica?
Yes. Yeah, I think they may have smoked a cigar together, too.
Ah.
Yeah. But yeah, I saw that on TV the other day. It's a commercial.
That would explain the white stain on her dress. That was milk.
It was milk.
It's absolutely
Yes.
not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fruity Pebble?
Fruity Pebble milk. Yes. Does that smell like berries? Yeah.
Not after Bill got done with it.
Oh, does that smell like
Yeah.
Hillary?
Ew.
Show. But yeah, I thought like last night we because Xander came in for the weekend, and so we went to.
Did he?
Yeah.
I knew he was going to. I've known all week.
So you knew too.
Oh,
That
how
is
did
so
you
funny.
know?
Because him and Audrey were
Texting?
not texting.
Snapping.
FaceTiming.
Teeing.
They were snapping.
They were
They were
sharing a cup of tea.
snapping, and he said, "I'm coming in to see my mom, but don't tell her." I was like, "Okay." But I also told him because him and Audrey were talking, and he was talking about all in college girls.
Mm-hmm.
And
The German girl? Did you talk about the German girl?
He didn't say anything about the German girl, but
Does she like
I
tea?
told him. I
think she does.
especially. I said, make
she had a lot
sure
of tea?
to wrap it if you're going to tap
She's
it.
German.
And he was like, and I said, do I need to buy you condoms? And he said, hey, I'll take some free condoms.
Oh my god.
That's your boy.
Please let me know when he's going to be home again. I'm going to bring him a big giant box of tea.
That would be hilarious.
That would be so funny.
Tea and condoms.
Tea and condoms.
Loose leaf.
I saw him briefly yesterday when he arrived, and I've not seen him since.
Then we fed him and
Yeah.
he left.
Yeah.
Yeah, we took him to eat Mexican
He had to go
food,
see all of his friends.
and then he left.
I think he's planning on hanging out with my girls tomorrow.
Well, he's at the ball
But
game
he's-
tonight, didn't he?
Yeah. Thought he was going to go back tomorrow.
I don't know.
I don't either.
He
We
initially
don't
said
know.
he was coming home Friday. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but he got out of a class today, so a class
Yeah,
that
he got to drop a class.
He got to drop a class because he didn't need it, or so he says.
No, I think he didn't need that one. It
Was that tea time?
Here's a new meaning to tee off. I'm going to go tee off now.
Oh my gosh.
Well, the guy in the video, he was getting ready to go share some tea with himself.
I know. He's going to make himself a glass of tea.
Yeah,
That's the safest way to do it.
That's right. You can never be rejected.
Never. Unless you get a cramp.
Or
and
accused.
you're freaking
Carpal tunnel.
All joking aside, kids out there listening, consent is real. No means no.
And all joking aside, kids that are out there listening, you shouldn't fucking
Should
be
be listening. What the fuck are your parents doing letting you listen to this shit?
Go to fucking bed.
And then go watch Houses of Air. That'll scare you straight away.
Search Ron Jeremy.
Oh, yeah.
The hedgehog. How did that man screw so many women?
I have no idea.
Amy just laid it out on the table right there. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nope, not worth it.
And that's how he did it. He laid it out on the table.
Not worth it.
Yeah. So old Ron's in
Hedgehog.
trouble, huh?
Yeah.
Man. See, I'm sorry. I just find that.
How did he not pass out when he got wood? That's what I want to know. The blood went from one head to the other. Come on.
I'm feeling really weak. What was that in Scream? I feel a little woozy.
I think you went a little too deep.
I feel woozy.
My mom's gonna be
That's
so
my favorite
mad.
part of that whole fucking movie.
So, any good movies lately? Anyone? Has anyone watched any good movies lately?
I watched the whole series of Fear
no.
Street, and it was good.
Yes,
All three
Fear
of them were
Street
really
was
good.
awesome.
No.
No, that's big. That's
I can't stay awake long enough.
And I'm probably going to see The Exorcist tomorrow on the big screen.
Oh, yeah.
What?
That's tomorrow.
Screenville movie night.
What?
Yes, tomorrow. 8
he
o'clock.
doesn't get on Facebook.
I don't
so
get on
he has
Facebook.
no idea.
Tomorrow in Hall
Yeah.
Cinema.
Hall Cinema.
8 o'clock. Screenville team. We've been
The
invited
Exorcist.
to see The Exorcist on the big screen.
Director's cut?
I don't have any idea. Probably, maybe.
I didn't know that because I don't get on the book face.
Maybe you should do that now and then. Mike does. If it's good enough for Mike, why isn't it good enough for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Stephen don't like tea.
Because Andrea's making tea all the time. She's forcing tea down my throat.
Oh, wow.
So that's what you're calling that big rubber thing. Tea.
That's what sound makes.
It's like we were talking the other
What the hell
night.
happened to this show?
It's like we were talking the other night.
You see that hill? Way down there.
Yeah.
This guy at work, Al, funny as shit. Al's mid
He is.
50s.
He's a trip.
And he was talking one day, and one of the guys said something like, "Al, you ever sucked a sweeter dick than mine?" And I was like, "I can't suck dick. Shit makes me gag." He's a funny guy. I can't do that. Shit makes me gag. You know? Oh, Steve.
Shaky Al.
Shaky Al. Yeah. That's what we call him. Shaky Al. It's all right. He calls me Fat Steve, so he's Shaky Al.
There you go.
What was he trying to eat that one day, and Greg had to kind of help him?
Everything.
A chicken wing or something, was it?
Probably, yeah. Al used to sit straight across the break room table from me, and he'd be over there, and he'd have his wife always made him a nice lunch, you know, like pork chops and macaroni and cheese and mashed potatoes. And I told Greg one day, I was like, she's going to have to stop making him macaroni and cheese. And he's like, why? I was like, because I'm trying to eat a sandwich and I get macaroni fly up on my sandwich. He got nerve damage working down there. Yeah. And so his hands shake. And, you know, like really, really bad. But he's got a lot of it under control. He's, you know, calming down a lot. But at first, like his hands, I mean, it was literally like that, him trying to bring a drink up to his mouth. I thought he had Parkinson's when he first started. He's like, no, I don't have Parkinson's. He goes, it's just freaking nerve damage that I got working here.
Wow.
Yeah, that one day we were outside smoking out there biology, and he asked me for a cigarette, so I flipped my pack open, and I started shaking like he does, going back and forth. He's trying to reach it, and just shaking, and it was funny as hell.
Speaking of hell, that's where you're going.
They have reserves.
I'm next in line for the throne.
But yeah, Al, he's an awesome guy, but he's so funny. He's got one-liners that, I mean, you can say something to him, like try to cut him down. He's on you like that with another one that's worse than what you threw at him. He's awesome, awesome guy.
That's great.
Andrea, any movies you've watched lately?
No.
She's like, no. Drinking tea all the time.
I'd like to know where this tea is because sign me up.
What was it we watched? We did watch something. We watched Suicide Squad.
Yes.
Yes. Have you guys watched the Suicide Squad yet?
Negative.
It's actually pretty dang good. Really good, actually. It's cheesy, but really good.
I might have to check it out.
Yeah. And we watched, there was another movie on HBO Max that we watched.
Reminiscence?
No, but I want to watch that. Is it good?
I haven't seen it yet.
Haven't seen it yet. It looks really good. And there's a new horror movie on there.
Malignant.
Malignant.
Oh, yeah.
That one looks creepy as shit. So if anybody in the chat room has seen Malignant yet, let us know and give us a review if it's worth watching, or should we just skip over it and just find something else.
I watched a really good Jennifer Garner movie. It was not a rom-com.
What was it?
Peppermint.
Peppermint.
It was fantastic.
Peppermint is amazing.
Yeah, it was
Never
fantastic.
seen it.
I was like, what the
It's
fuck is
good.
this? And it totally took me back to like her Alias days.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Except
She's
she's
a
even
badass.
more badass
Yeah.
in this than Alias. Yeah.
I want to see The Empty Man.
Yes.
That looks really good, too.
Yeah, that's on Netflix?
No, that's on HBO Max.
Is that on HBO Max? Okay.
He needs some tea.
Are you Googling tea? Tea for two?
No. Solo tea only. Rosie Paulman or 5.
I just haven't really had time lately to
Yeah, me either.
watch anything.
Yeah. I was like, this week.
Reruns of Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. Because it's easy to fall asleep to.
And I think we watched Ant-Man and Wasp.
We did watch Ant-Man and Wasp
That
for like the
one.
90th time.
Ridiculous 6.
Yes,
we did watch Ridiculous 6 again.
We watched 6 Underground.
That's a good one.
It was really
movie.
good.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched a really good 6-part documentary on HBO Max called The 100-Foot Wave.
Really?
And it's about this guy he's a world champion big wave surfer. And his quest in his whole life to find and be the first person to surf a 100-foot wave. It's very interesting. It's very interesting and beautiful documentary.
I would probably like that.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah.
And on A&E last week, that was their True Crime Week, and they had a 3-part documentary, Invisible Monsters, Serial Killers in America. You know, they had Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, the cannibal.
Dahmer.
Thank you, Dahmer.
Ramirez.
No, they didn't have Ramirez on there. They had this Strangler. What the hell was his name?
BTK.
Oh,
Yeah, they had BTK.
Boston Strangler.
And then there was one more. I wasn't too familiar with him, but you know, it wasn't, you know, each night, you know, they picked pieces from
Each one
from the decades because they all ran during the same decades doing their killing, and they were, you know, the 5 most notorious serial killers. It was a pretty good series.
I did want to let Mike know that I watched that documentary on shit.
Really? There's a documentary about that?
Yes.
You'd be surprised.
No, I wouldn't. Not after that last video.
The guy in New York.
The Sons of Sam.
Sons of Sam. I watched that.
Did you watch it all the way up to the very end?
Yes.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's
Amazing documentary. And totally makes you think.
Yeah.
Totally makes you think. I mean, was it just him or was it a group of people? And
he's always said it was a group.
Yeah.
He's always said it.
And after watching it, I totally believe it was a group.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because how could that man get from one spot to 2 minutes later being at another spot and killing somebody else?
Well, not only
Stole
that,
the Flash's suit.
none of the sketches
Were the same
None
person.
of them look like the same person.
No.
And it wasn't just like that's probably the same guy, or
Yeah.
that could be his cousin. They look like vastly different people.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing documentary. So if
Yeah.
you guys haven't seen that, it's on Netflix. You got to check it out. It's like a 4 or 5 part documentary. Sons of Sam. It is amazing. It will make you totally think.
Yesterday morning, I watched the new Bob Ross.
I saw that was on there.
The Happy Accidents,
Yeah.
Betrayal and Greed. It's very good.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching Bob Ross all the time when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I mean, what went on behind the scenes and these two people that now own Bob Ross Inc. It's fucking horrible. I mean,
Really?
it's very sad. It's very sad.
Enough so that they're like trying to sue the producers now.
They sue everybody apparently. At one point they had 22 or 21 different people they were going to interview. 12 of them backed down and would not be interviewed for the documentary because they were afraid of lawsuits from these two people.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I can't remember the name of the album, but Nirvana album where they had the baby in the
Yeah.
swimming pool.
Yeah. Never mind.
Never mind. Yes.
Dude's-
Dude is suing
Yeah.
Nirvana for over child porn or some shit.
Yeah.
He's
Because
trying to
of that.
say he didn't have a choice and blah blah blah, but never mind the fact that he has.
Never mind tattooed across his chest.
He's got it tattooed across his chest, and he has done appearances and signed autographs for money, banking on that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think,
15-year and 20-year anniversary.
yeah. And so really, I think the judge should A, laugh him out of the court, and B, tell him if he wants to sue somebody, he needs to sue his parents because they're the ones
That
that
wore him
allowed
out.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. He's probably just pissed off because his pee-pee's the same
He's
size.
just doing
broke.
he's after money. He's after money.
Yeah, he's suing every surviving member of Nirvana plus suing
estate.
Courtney Love and suing Kurt Cobain's estate.
And
Both.
like the record producer
Everybody.
and yeah.
For like
Wow.
$250 million each.
The tea server.
Yeah.
And he's saying because he was naked on the cover and because they put a dollar, because the dollar bill wasn't actually there. They superimposed the dollar bill afterwards. He said because he's reaching for the dollar, it made him look like a sex worker.
Oh,
It's one of the most
my
ridiculous things you've ever
God.
read. Yeah. It made me look like a sex worker. You're a baby floating in a pool, you dumbass.
That's funny. That's funny.
You know, what's sad is that some dumbass judge is probably going to say, "Yeah, pay the man."
You're exactly right.
When
Because-
really they should say, "Get a fucking job."
Yeah. Yeah. Unemployment's ran out. Get a real job.
Yeah.
That,
300 seconds is up.
thanks, Steve. Appreciate that.
Yours countdown too? Mine does
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, every 300 seconds you can hit it.
Oh, is that what it is?
You,
that what
you
it
can,
is?
give,
Yep.
you can give
Oh.
us another like every 300 seconds. I like that. Keep liking, people. Keep liking.
Not sure what it does, but thank you.
Not a damn thing, but it makes me feel good.
Yes. Oh, there's another
We
one.
like it.
Look at
We
that.
love it.
But-
Love it.
Yeah. Is it just me or is it getting hot in this room?
Oh,
been hot in this
room.
I'm burning up.
Yeah.
Somebody can open up that door.
Yeah. I don't think it would help. I really don't.
I do not have
It's so far.
Don't die, Mike. Don't die.
Somebody catch our Japanese fella. He's falling.
I almost died. Oh my God.
Oh my God, he almost died.
I tried
Did
to
you
push
see
him.
that? I almost died.
Then you could haunt this place.
With
Join
everyone
the
else.
others.
With everyone else.
So we had a little
Would you like some tea?
K2 sesh at the house the other night.
That tea
Did
went
you?
from my ass.
Yeah.
That's not where the tea goes.
Chuck was out of town, and the Alora was over, so we went out and picked up dinner, and we're sitting around the kitchen table. Got the K2 meter set up on the end of it where there's no electrical anything, no interference, and Alora starts asking questions because she's always had like a spirit that kind of fucks with her. She starts asking questions, and we're asking questions, and when she hit on Joey Stevens, it lit to red and stayed there.
No shit.
And then I called Chuck, and when he started talking, it kept hitting red. So I was like, "You are
Wow.
not going to believe this shit."
Wow.
And yeah, so I was like, okay, so we need to just do an EVP session at some point in the near future.
Yeah, if you want, you're more than welcome to stream that live on our Facebook page.
I mean, we might.
Yeah, you're more than welcome.
But it was very interesting because Laura, she asked a lot of intelligent questions and stuff, and Audrey was getting into it, and she was like, "Well, why don't I have a spirit?" And
because you're not old enough to drink tea.
it hit. Yes, she is. It hit midway on the K2, and she was like, "Do I have a spirit?" And it hit red. So she starts asking questions again, and we're pretty sure it's my dad.
Wow.
Yeah, because when Audrey was little, she went through some health stuff, and she was very attached to my dad. He was her comfort blanket when she went through like her kidney surgery and all that.
Wow.
And yeah, so I've always felt like he hasn't really left. But now I'm pretty sure he's definitely hanging around.
Wow. That's
But
pretty cool.
and the reason Alora asked about Joey is that when she was little, we were still living in Carolyn's basement, and she was a breastfed baby. So I would sit there in the dark with her. We had like a night light and all that. Didn't want to turn everything on. Try to keep the baby as asleep as possible so you can go back to sleep. And she would stop feeding and look up behind me and start laughing every damn time after Joe died.
Wow.
So one night I'm sitting there and I was like, all right, damn it, Joey, if that's you, leave her alone. Let the kid eat. I'm tired. So there's a whole bunch of papers. We still had the bar at that time. There's a whole bunch of papers stacked on the bar. And it looked like somebody just went and flung them all off. And I went, okay, good night. But ever since then, we've always kind of felt like he's still around. And apparently he is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys decide to do that and you want to, stream it on the page.
Cool.
Yeah.
Might have to do that.
That'd be awesome. Cool. That'd be totally awesome. And that way, we can interact from here.
Yeah.
And everybody else that wants to watch. So
it's just a matter of getting everybody in the same place at the same time.
Yep. That's an issue sometimes.
I'm starting to have an empty nest. I'm not sure if I like it or not.
We're on our way too.
Audrey's almost never home.
Well, Hayden isn't either. He's always in his room. It's like he's not home.
He's never home. He's just in his room.
It's like he's not home. The only time we see him is when he comes through to get something or to go to the garage to work out. That's basically the only time that we see Hayden. But,
that's a normal teenage thing, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired.
It's been a day, man.
It's been a week. I've been on vacation this week. I took vacation this week since Dad was moving in, and to build the deck out back.
Well, little did he know that it was going to be, the pits of hell this week.
Yeah. Yeah. I did not know it was going to be in the 90s all week long.
Stephen, how long have you lived in Tennessee?
Yep.
And what week in August is this?
Yep.
Yeah, you didn't think that through very well, did you?
I didn't. No, I was just thinking.
You can work by flashlight.
Yeah. Well, everything's done but the roof. So.
I know it looks good.
I want to put that off a couple of weeks. So.
Fair.
Yeah. We got furniture to put together out there, so I'll do that tomorrow. And get that all put together.
And hopefully soon we'll have movie night.
Yeah. We can do movie night from the port or from the deck, sit on the deck and put the projector screen straight out in front of us. That way no one gets eaten by bugs, coming up out of the grass and chewing on them while we try to watch a movie.
Fun times.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I still have welts from last year.
You might want to see a doctor about that.
For real.
Yeah. I'm allergic.
I'm allergic.
But yeah, so I'm done talking.
Steven's ready for bed.
Oh, Mike's got something.
One more Netflix suggestion for everybody out there. If you like the serial killers and the stuff like that, there's a new documentary on Netflix right now called Memories of a Murderer, the Nielsen tapes. And this is about Dennis Nielsen. Dennis Nielsen, he was a Scottish guy who was in England. He's very, very well known. He's not as well known here in the States, but he was a serial killer in England.
Right.
Very much kind of like Dahmer, just very low key, just under the radar kind of guy. Killed a bunch of people that nobody would ever miss, and ended up getting caught because the last person he killed, he basically chopped up and tried to flush down the toilet.
Oh, God.
And it caused the toilet to back up.
I remember hearing about that.
And he was living in an upstairs apartment, and it made the toilet back up for the people down below, and they ended up calling to get it fixed, and that's when they found bits and pieces.
I remember hearing about him now.
And flesh. Well, while he was because he just passed away recently, while he was in jail, he recorded over 250 hours of audio tapes. He had a little portable tape recorder, and he would just sit and record, and basically tells his entire life story, even through all the murders.
Wow!
And they've put together this documentary. It's engrossing. It's freaky to listen to.
Definitely have to check that out.
It's very good. It's Memories of a Murderer, the Nielsen tapes.
Definitely got to check that out. Because
I saw that last week. Very, very good.
It has nothing to do with the paranormal, and we devoted an entire month to serial killers because they are fascinating.
Well, they're just evil.
They're evil, and that's what makes them fascinating.
About paranormal stuff, and then evil is a part of that.
That's true.
This guy is just flat out evil because he killed these people for no other reason than just to kill them.
Right.
Yeah, he didn't feel any great need. He didn't rob them or anything like that. He just killed them because he wanted to.
And he specifically sought out people that nobody would miss.
Wow.
And nobody did. Nobody ever reported a single person that he killed.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
That's sad.
Wow.
And the few times that somebody did, they were from such a low-end class that nobody took him seriously. Whatever. He ran away.
The majority of them were like gay men who were in prostitution. So or homeless. And they just would assume. Boy, I think,
Wow.
With most of them, they just assume that they moved on.
Yeah. The 14-year-old boy was from a single family home, and they said, "Oh, he probably just ran away," and they never pursued it.
Oh my God!
Mother went and reported. He probably just ran away. He ran away to London.
So, what years did these murders take place?
Late 70s through a good portion of the 80s.
Wow.
Yeah, he was active for something like 15 years.
Yeah, it was a long time. And they said he literally could have kept on going if he hadn't have backed up the toilet.
Wow. So what was his count?
17 that they think they know of, because he killed in 2 different locations. The one house, and he was burying remains out in the garden of the one house, and then flushing it down the toilet in the other house.
Wow.
And so when he actually mentioned to the police, you'll find, he just told them, you'll find some bodies at this, and he gave them the other address, and they went and started digging up the garden and uncovered like 8 or 9 bodies buried in this little tiny garden in this London row house. Full view of all kinds of people. Not living out in the country, living in London.
Jeez. Yeah, definitely got to check that out.
He would cut people up and take them downstairs and just bury them out in the yard. Nobody noticed.
Wow.
What you doing out there? Gardening.
Yeah.
2:00 in the morning?
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
Couldn't sleep.
The grand softa.
I like planning by the moonlight.
Them some good maters.
No.
Excellent fertilizer.
That's some big old walnut seeds.
Dennis grows the most amazing strawberries. I don't know what he does, but they're delicious. What's that, a tooth? There's a tooth on my strawberry. It's a pubic hair. What is that?
And that's why I don't eat strawberries.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it, I've got shit on my mustache.
Oh my God. Got something caught there, Mike. Do you have something caught there?
It's a fingernail.
In a potato.
That's a delicious potato. What's a fingernail doing in it?
So gross.
Oh my God.
So gross.
Well,
That ear of corn has a penis in it.
I'm dead.
That eggplant has 3 nipples.
Gold dang.
Oh.
I went to pull my carrots, and well, we just can't talk about it.
Oh. Oh my God.
We're some
You see that
sick
hill?
fucks.
We're at the bottom. That's where this podcast went.
This watermelon tastes like shit. No, really, it tastes like shit.
Why is there corn in my watermelon?
It's a peanut. Why is a peanut in the middle of the watermelon?
Oh
It's a
God.
used condom. What's that?
Ugh. That's why it's so chewy.
We're all going to hell.
Why is my cucumber shaped like a helmet on one end?
This cucumber has a vein in it. It's a veiny cucumber.
I saw a TikTok that had a Milky Way bar, and
With
one girl,
testicles.
the girl says, "Why does my Milky Way have penis veins?"
Oh, surprise.
It's that gooey nougat center that you like so much. Oh, anyway. Okay, I'm done. I'm officially done.
And we are reached the bottom of the hill completely.
We've reached the bottom of the hill. And if any of you guys have lasted this long, thank you. And I'm
For
sorry.
real.
And just remember a glitch in the Matrix.
Just remember, don't force tea on anyone while they're sleeping.
Tea means tea.
Yes. Yeah. You can put your dick in them if you want. I don't care. It's just not tea.
No.
No, don't do that.
All right. Guys.
Steven, we need to talk.
Unless they've asked for tea, then you can do that.
But then unless they don't
Change their
want it
mind.
afterwards.
If they change their mind in the middle of it.
What a horrible thing to show kids. And then they go home and then they're like, hey, oh, look, your grandparents have come to visit.
Go
Hi,
fix them
Grandma.
some tea.
Grandma would like some tea. No! No!
It's like that
Like PTSD
fabric,
with tea.
that fabric softener
PTSD.
commercial where the kid's going upstairs and his grandparents come out of the closet, wrinkled clothes. He's like,
Yeah.
PTSD.
PTSD.
post-traumatic T syndrome.
That's right.
Oh my God.
All right, guys. Again, thank you. Next week we'll come up with a topic. How about that?
Yes.
And maybe
This
a little
entire
safer.
episode has been a glitch in the matrix.
Yes. This
Yes.
This is not the episode you were looking for.
Yes. This episode was brought to you by
Tea.
T.
The letter T.
The letter T. For fooled ya. All right, guys. Until next week, when we will be back and hopefully be acting a little bit better than this. I'm Steven.
I'm Steve.
I'm Andrea.
I'm Amy.
And I'm Mike. Remember, even if they said yes to tea 5 minutes ago and they've now passed out, don't put a dick in their mouth.
And as always, stay spooky, my friends.
That's all, folks.
You've been listening to Paratalk with the East Tennessee Ghost Seekers. If you have a question or comment about the show you've just heard, or you have an experience to share, or you need to contact us concerning an investigation, feel free to email us at etgsparatalk@gmail.com or call 865-264-0448. That's 865-264-0448. We invite you to find and like the East Tennessee Ghost Seekers on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and visit us online at easttnghostseekers.org. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time on Paratalk.